Number 9. 1989-1991 Chrysler TC by Maserati. When Chrysler partnered with the legendary Italian brand Maserati, expectations ran high. The result, however, was a convertible that confused buyers from day one. Assembled in Milan and powered by a turbocharged 2.2-liter four-cylinder producing around 160 horsepower, the TC by Maserati shared its platform and even some body panels with the Chrysler LeBaron, a far cheaper car. Dealers had no idea how to price it, and customers had no idea why they should pay more for what looked like a rebadged economy car. Production lasted only 3 years, from 1989 to 1991, with just over 7,000 units built. Despite a well-equipped interior and a Maserati badge, the TC never lived up to its Italian promises. The car sold poorly throughout its entire run, and today it stands as a cautionary tale about what happens when brand prestige meets platform sharing without a clear identity. Number 8. 2002 Lincoln Blackwood. Ford had a bold idea in the early 2000s: take the F-150 platform, dress it in Lincoln luxury, and sell it as a premium lifestyle pickup. The result was the Lincoln Blackwood, a truck that looked sharp on paper but failed in nearly every practical sense. It was rear-wheel drive only, meaning no towing, no off-road capability, and very limited hauling. The cargo bed was carpeted and covered with a hard tonneau lid that couldn't be removed, making it essentially useless for actual truck work. Priced at around $52,000, the Blackwood competed against nothing because nobody wanted what it offered. Ford sold fewer than 3,400 units in its only production year before pulling the plug entirely. It remains one of the fastest commercial failures in American automotive history, and ironically, it helped pave the way for the more successful Lincoln Navigator and later luxury truck efforts. Number 7. 1982-1988 Cadillac Cimarron. In the early 1980s, General Motors was under intense pressure from European luxury brands entering the U.S. market. Cadillac's answer was the Cimarron, a compact luxury sedan that was, in reality, a rebadged Chevrolet Cavalier with a leather interior and a price tag nearly double its platform sibling. The 1.8-liter four-cylinder produced just 88 horsepower, embarrassingly underpowered for any car wearing the Cadillac crest. Front-wheel drive, modest dimensions, and economy car roots made it difficult to justify. Buyers noticed immediately, and sales were disappointing throughout its 6-year production run. Even Cadillac's own leadership later admitted the Cimarron was a mistake, with former GM Vice President Bob Lutz calling it one of the worst decisions in the brand's history. The Cimarron's legacy is not just commercial failure. It damaged Cadillac's reputation for over a decade and accelerated the brand's loss of dominance in the luxury segment. Number 6. 2001 to 2005 Pontiac Aztek. Few cars in modern history have been as universally criticized for their styling as the Pontiac Aztek. Introduced at the 2000 Detroit Auto Show, it was designed as a versatile crossover aimed at active, younger buyers. What arrived in showrooms, however, was a vehicle that automotive journalists and consumers alike described as visually incoherent. Built on a minivan platform shared with the Buick Rendezvous, the Aztek offered a 3.4-liter V6 engine producing 185 horsepower and a genuinely practical interior with available all-wheel drive and a built-in air mattress and tent system. The functionality was never really the problem, it was the design. Sales consistently fell below projections, and the Aztek became a symbol of everything that was wrong with GM's product planning in the early 2000s. It was discontinued in 2005 after fewer than 120,000 total units sold across 5 years. Ironically, the car gained a second life in popular culture through the TV series Breaking Bad, where it became an iconic prop, proving that bad design can still make good TV. Number 5. 1971 to 1977 Chevrolet Vega. General Motors launched the Chevrolet Vega with enormous ambition. It was named Motor Trend Car of the Year for 1971, designed as a direct answer to the growing wave of imported compact cars. The Vega used an aluminum block 2.3-liter four-cylinder engine, an innovative choice for the time. Unfortunately, that same engine became the car's worst enemy. The aluminum block warped under heat, head gaskets failed prematurely, and oil consumption was excessive. Rust also attacked the body aggressively, particularly around the wheel arches and rocker panels. Consumer Reports consistently ranked the Vega among the most unreliable cars of the 1970s, and repair costs climbed quickly. A recall affecting over 300,000 vehicles for engine issues didn't help the car's reputation. Despite selling over 2 million units during its production run, a commercial success by volume, the Vega left a trail of frustrated owners and is remembered today primarily for its mechanical shortcomings rather than its original promise. Number 4. 1970 to 1978 AMC Gremlin. American Motors Corporation introduced the Gremlin on April 1, 1970, a date that in hindsight feels fitting. It was rushed into production to compete with the Ford Pinto and Chevrolet Vega, essentially built by cutting the rear section off an existing AMC Hornet design. The result was a subcompact with an unusual fastback silhouette that divided public opinion immediately. It came with a choice of inline-4 or inline-6 engines, later adding a 5.0-liter V8 option, but the base powertrain offered a modest 90 horsepower. The Gremlin's interior was cramped, particularly in the rear seats, and build quality was inconsistent. Safety features were minimal even by the standards of the era. Still, it sold reasonably well for AMC, over 670,000 units through its production run, a commercial success by volume. The Gremlin left a trail of frustrated owners and is remembered today primarily for its mechanical shortcomings rather than its original promise.
Number 3. 1958-1960 Ford Edsel. Ford spent hundreds of millions of dollars developing the Edsel, one of the most hyped automotive launches in American history. Marketed as the car of the future, it arrived in September 1957 as a 1958 model and immediately ran into trouble. The vertical oval grille, which Ford hoped would be distinctive, was widely mocked. Early production cars suffered from quality control problems, including faulty brakes, oil leaks, and paint defects. The name Edsel was chosen from a short list after extensive market research, yet it resonated with almost no one. Ford offered the Edsel with several engine options, including a 5.9-liter V8 producing up to 303 horsepower, which was competitive for the period. But the car arrived during an economic recession, and consumers were already shifting towards smaller, more economical vehicles. Ford sold roughly 110,000 Edsels across just 3 model years before canceling the line in November 1959. The financial loss exceeded $350 million, equivalent to several billion dollars today. Number 2. 1960-1969 Chevrolet Corvair. The Chevrolet Corvair was genuinely innovative for its time, a rear-engined, air-cooled compact that broke from American automotive convention. Available in sedan, coupe, convertible, and van configurations, it offered a flat-six engine in the rear producing between 80 and 180 horsepower depending on the variant. Sales were strong in the early 1960s, and the Corvair was even praised for its European-inspired handling. The problem emerged with the early swing-axle rear suspension, which under certain conditions could create unpredictable handling and oversteer. In 1965, consumer advocate Ralph Nader published Unsafe at Any Speed, devoting its first chapter to the Corvair's handling characteristics. The book triggered congressional hearings and fundamentally changed U.S. vehicle safety regulation, leading directly to the creation of the National Highway Safety Transportation Administration. Subsequent independent studies, including a federal report in 1972, found the Corvair's handling comparable to other contemporaries, but the damage to its reputation was irreversible. Number 1. 1971-1980 Ford Pinto. No car in American history carries a more serious reputation than the Ford Pinto. Developed under pressure to be ready within a compressed timeline of roughly 25 months compared to the industry standard of 43, the Pinto hit the market in 1971 as a lightweight subcompact with a 1.6-liter or 2.0-liter inline-4 engine. Ford sold it aggressively, and early sales were strong. The critical issue involved the fuel tank location. Positioned behind the rear axle, it was vulnerable to rupture in rear-end collisions, potentially causing fuel leaks and fire. Internal Ford documents, later made public during litigation, revealed that the company had conducted a cost-benefit analysis and determined that paying legal settlements would be less expensive than redesigning the fuel system, a calculation that caused enormous public outrage when exposed. Ford issued a recall in 1978 for approximately 1.5 million vehicles.